Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the World Championship Series Challenger as we begin the road here in Europe. We're going to be starting things out with our Open Cups, and then we'll be moving all the way down to the playoffs as we find out 4 players that are going to be advancing on down the line. But my name is Kyle Loris. I'll be bringing you all the hosty stuff as things continue on here for WCS Challenger Europe. And to my left, of course, we do have Mr. Johan Todd Merlo. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing great, excited for these games. Last time we had a lot of good ones. I learned some things here and there, and I'm hoping I can learn some more things, and so can the viewers, because it's some pretty high-level games that we're going to have taking place.
Yeah, we have a single elimination bracket to kick things off for today. We will have 4 players move on to the playoffs, where we already have 8 players waiting, lying in wait, as they were able to qualify themselves through the ladder, as they were able to get themselves those top 8 spots. So basically what we're doing here through WCS Challenger Europe is we're finding out the very best top 16 players from Europe, and then from there we can whittle it down a little bit further and figure out who our very tip-top players are going to be. So we have a huge bracket that we actually have today. We have like 128 players or so, correct?
I think it was more, right? It wasn't the perfect number that you would get, right? 128 is the perfect number, right?
Oh,
but
so it's even less actually then. Just a little bit less.
Okay.
Yeah. I get you. But
we got a couple of buys maybe for some of the favorites in the first round, but yeah, usually also like the first rounds should be pretty straightforward because there are seedings in effect. So even though a lot of these players, they're grandmaster, they're master, I think like for the most part, we see usually 90% of the favorites advance on and then start to face each other from the second round, third round, and that's when things really get spicy. But we will start broadcasting from the round 1 as well, and I believe we've picked a game which we're on our way to joining right now. New map pool.
New map pool, yes, with Blood Boil. I had to do it.
Rotty made the best joke about this map. Yep. Blood boil will make your blood boil.
No doubt, no doubt.
Simple and precise. 1 single gas on the pocket expansion, and not even a rich one, so can be one of the trickier maps to play on. Actually, a lot of players, they forego even taking that base nowadays, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see it vetoed depending on matchups and races that are playing on it. And going to be interesting to see what maps we see more often than some of the other maps. In this case, I would assume Abyssal Reef, we're going to be seeing a whole lot of this. You know, like the last time I casted the second qualifier with Rotty, and he kept on going on about how Abyssal Reef, like, every single time he was like second map, not even like first or third, every time second map. But the important thing to remember about this is that in every single series we saw it. Now it's new map pool. Do we see it as much? Do we see it a lot on second map? I guess we're going to get that answer a little bit here today.
We will. There's certainly some interesting new names in the map pool. Ascension to Aya, or is it Ascension of Aya? I think it's Ascension to Aya.
Yeah, it's Ascension to Aya. It's almost as if you made the name for this map yourself.
I know.
With how dramatic.
I know. That's what I do.
If you made another map, the name would be Worlds Colliding, wouldn't it?
That would be. It would be. Actually, you know what? I was on the flight, on the way back from Seattle. There was a film on there, Worlds Collide. I thought of you. There you go.
Oh, there was a film, like named that?
I'm pretty sure there was a film.
What is it about? Your life story?
I didn't watch it. I should have done, shouldn't I? I had enough time to kill on a 10-hour flight. I should have watched it. It seems that we will be starting things off with Garitos going up against Crowbar. We did want Optimus going up against Alistair, as that's actually quite a high match. Alistair, obviously, having been playing so long ago, and Optimus really on the rise in the Netherlands. But it seems like Alistair is not here. So we're going to have to kind of, you know, go to another match to start things off between Garitos and Crowbar by the looks of things. Have you had the pleasure of playing against one of these two, or both of them, or do you know a bit about these guys?
No, I'm GM as well, but my MMR maybe not as high. Actually, how much do they have even?
That's right. Oh, I forgot the age-old opportunity of checking their MMRs to know who's going to win.
Yeah. 5,700. That's not too far from me.
No? Where are you?
I'm at 5,644.
Oh,
all right, step aside. Let me play. And then Garitos, I would assume, as higher.
Yeah.
5,701. So
exactly. Wow, these two are super evenly matched.
Maybe I met them, but I don't remember.
Maybe.
Which would mean that I lost. I think I will remember, to be honest. Like most GMs that I play, I remember.
I was going to say, I mean, you're saying step aside and let you play, but I think eventually when you're playing in your actual tournament, somehow you'll have to cast yourself whilst playing.
Actually, I haven't decided yet how to handle that. I'm not sure. I think I might take the headset off and let Harstem cast and play without sound, so that people can still have some good commentary. Because like I would be pretty terrible if I had to cast and play at the same time.
Wait, if Harstem
at both,
would Harstem be casting next to you?
No, he'd be from home.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. No, yeah, this makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. So I have to play without sound, which not ideal, but you know what? We'll make it work.
You'll make it work. I'm sure you will. I'm sure. All right, we're going to start things on Abyssal Reef, as you mentioned. You know, probably one of the more common maps coming into this because some of them are very new. Some of the people don't have. Why do I have hosts? Oh, there we go. Good to go.
You're in charge.
Good to go. I like how I get given the host and I just have to ask them good to go again, and then they say yes, and yeah.
You're just such an authority.
Yeah, apparently.
You know, by the way, the players that made it already through the ladder, there were a couple surprises in there. Like some not so much. Like for example, Nurture, Cyril and Snoot. I mean, come on. Like obviously they were going to be top 8.
Yeah.
And then Showtime as well. But guys like Bly, I don't think I particularly would have expected Bly to be in top 8. He's more of like an online cup grinder than a ladder super high MMR guy, but he made it. Soul as well made it. He's at a high MMR for a long time. Hero Marine, and then T-Drogo returning freshly from Korea with all his training. So gonna be cool to see these guys in action in the later days, not quite just today or tomorrow, because they already qualified for stage 2. But for now, let's jump here into game number 1 of this ZvZ.
Alrighty, spawning down the bottom right-hand corner, we do have our red Zerg. It will be Garitos here, representing Addict. Don't know who they are, but it's fine. And up to the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner. Jeez, oh. All right, let's restart.
Bring back Roddy.
It's going to be Crowbar in the blue as our Zerg as well, representing ECV, who actually is quite a well-established team in Europe for a long time now.
Nice try to move on.
I'll do what I can. Jeez.
Looks like Hatch first for both players here is going to be the opener.
I'm always so rusty when I cast StarCraft. It takes a toll, but it'll be fine, I'm sure.
I'm not surprised actually that we see Abyssal Reef come out. It's one of the maps that they're going to be more familiar with. So very rarely will you like jump into a new map pool and be like, oh my god, these maps are amazing. Let's just use them for every series, in every single game, and forget about the old map pool. No, usually the way it works is that you're very comfortable on the older map pool because you've already played a lot of games on these maps, and then you don't need to like reinvest all that practice into the newer maps.
Do you feel that Zergs against other races, not necessarily ZvZ, can adapt a little bit better to map pools because they don't have to be walling things off, etc., and that sometimes takes a little while for Protoss and Terran to work out?
Well, I mean, now they've had plenty of time, right, to train on these maps, so I don't think there is like that much surprise effect and stuff. Like a lot of stuff will already have been figured out as to, you know, what map is more difficult to play than some others. But maybe, you know, in terms of like some matchups being harder on a certain map because of the position, like the fact that it's more droppable and stuff by Terran, some players will think differently than some others, and then we might see them in one matchup as opposed to between two other players, but it's still much of a rarity. Usually the pro gamers or like the high-level players of StarCraft 2, they're quite unanimous in whether they think a map is good for a matchup or bad for a matchup, and for whom.
All right, well, a few Zerglings going to be coming out for Garitos. Likewise on the other side for Crowbar, Garitos going to throw down the Baneling Nest at the front so that he can just kind of have a bit more of a defensive position here, a little bit harder for Zerglings to end up moving around in that position. But it's all very telegraphed, really. I mean, the Overlords for Crowbar could quite easily spot that Baneling Nest at the front. Lings are going to spot it, though, quite quickly. And third base already on the way for Crowbar.
Yeah, whereas Garitos is skipping his here so far. He's the one with a way earlier Baneling Nest. I was wondering if he might want to be aggressive, but he's still droning up, so might want to, I guess, posture forward, try and make something happen with the fuelings that he has on the map, but I don't think they should do that much. It's just the 4 of them here, just right there.
Yeah, just starts working on this. He'll get pushed away eventually, though.
His metabolic boost will finish a little bit earlier. Maybe he can run in the main, but even that wouldn't even achieve that much.
There are 3 Banelings morphing in defensively by the looks of things here for Garitos to make sure that these Lings can't do anything. Just in case there was any Ling flood anyway, but I think he's okay. There's nothing much coming from Crowbar at the moment.
Yeah, Queens across the map killed a couple of Lings here of Crowbar, who's, I think, doing quite a bit better here on the drone count. He's 4 walkers ahead with 4 more on the way. 3 overlords on the way here for garitos. What is going on?
Is he freeing up to just kind of link flood? I mean,
I think he just might.
The
way that he's played so far, he's been very reluctant to add on a lot of drones.
Oh, Link's going to try and filter on through and maybe get a little bit of a
if they
spot
spot those Links hatching, this would be huge here, because that's a massive tell that aggression could be coming.
Yeah, I'll see them at this now. Oh, he actually cancelled! He cancelled some of the Links that were going to pop at the natural. So, doesn't quite show as many as one may have seen at the beginning of all of this.
And immediately behind this, garitos knows that he's been spotted, so he goes into 9 drones, whereas Crowbar is in panic mode right now. He's rolling off a little bit at home, he's making a ton of units. 16 Zerglings, just to make sure that he can hold.
This isn't exactly a tight wall here for Crowbar. He's going to have to be very careful about this. Spine Crawler's being thrown down as well. As Lings are getting on towards this Queen. Here come reinforcing Lings for Crowbar. Where are Banelings at all? Needs some more. Needs some morphing in. There's one down towards the bottom. He's got to be very careful about where he moves these Links. And they pop right on top of it. That's one Baneling connecting with plenty. A great trade there for garitos to start.
Yeah, that one Queen here will put in some real work to try and defend against this. Baneling is used, and now there's just going to be Links left over for garitos. This is going to get cleaned up. And behind this, garitos has caught up on the walker count. Still no sign of any lair tech just yet, though, whereas Crowbar already finished his. He starts +1 missile as well. Keep in mind, for garitos, we don't even have an Evo chamber, so in terms of tech, he's stuck in the Stone Age right now.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit difficult. It looked like he was moving a drone to actually make an Evo chamber, but it's kind of AFK, so that's not the best spot to be in. He did start one now, back towards his main base, so at least he'll catch up. But it's going to take a while to catch up. He is in a really bad spot.
Yeah, we'll see if Crowbar chooses to press his advantage here. If he just does the timing with a ton of roaches and +1 missile, might be able to close this out, but garitos obviously is going to have the opportunity to get a ton of roaches himself, be well set up defensively, and he starts his +1 missile not that late after his opponent there. Well, actually, no, it is quite late. More, I guess halfway faster here for Crowbar with that +1 missile.
Yeah, it'll definitely help out a lot. In terms of the defense, the roaches will be out nice in time for Crowbar to be able to set up this good defense. Overseer did come in and have a look around as to the extent of his opponent's research, and he notices that the layer isn't even finished. So the fact that he's going to have Glier Reconstitution on his roaches, Crowbar, means that the garitos can't really move out with roaches for a long time. He's so far behind on Glier Reconstitution.
Yeah, but if he can eventually complete that, then it doesn't matter. The question is, does Crowbar actually attack? Because even though he's going to have Glier Reconstitution, the time he takes to get across the map, there still will be a lot of units available here for garitos. He actually reveals that he wants to move across the map. Garitos saw that here with his overlords across the map, so let's see. He walls off the ramp with an Evo, and all he has to do is keep roaches on the right-hand side, make sure that he has enough in that location behind his infestation pits. For Crowbar, second roach one for garitos.
He doesn't have +1, but this is a better concave here for garitos to start things off. That will push Crowbar away. So
what did he get? Second roach wine.
Tunneling Claws, maybe?
Yeah, but like...
That'd be weird, though.
He's gonna line up with when his Glier Reconstitution finishes.
Yeah, kind of.
So it must be a mistake. I don't know what he would have liked to make here. Maybe Infestation Pit, but the hotkeys...
They're very different.
They're not that similar.
Yeah.
That you would make this mistake there.
Well, a little bit of an interesting move there. He's going to get himself his 4th base behind this as garitos as well. As he's just worming around with these roaches. Crowbar opening up roach paths to reinforce from as he gets his 4th base as well. It's going to be equal on the upgrades in just a second.
He might have made the roach one actually in the back of his main mineral line because the other one is in his wall. And he was afraid he would get bursted down, and then like you can't make roaches and then you just die.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. One thing that's important is that actually the army supply for garitos is quite high right now because the infestation pit was thrown down. It's a lot of gas invested as well as those infestors.
Hey, look! Where's your backup roach one, Crowbar?
It's gonna go down! Oh no, he needs a good fungal or something like that, but he only has one infester to try and equalize this out, and I don't think it's really gonna be enough here. Their average is doing quite a lot of extra damage as well. They haven't really hit themselves any of those putrid biles. Oh, sorry, putrid bile, that's stitches. Those corrosive biles. Wow. But overall, that is just gonna be a funnel of death here. Crowbar has to bust up this ramp and kill it off, but it's doing a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah, already 7 drones have died. If he could get more here, garitos might be putting himself in a great position, but looks like this might get cleaned up eventually. Still doing damage, they're still trading.
But the army supply, behind this, 19 roaches are being used to reinforce. So even if Crowbar had anything extra, he's going to be hit with another swell
the lava!
of roaches.
Almost gets it here. Yes, guys, tell me about the supply. The backup roach
He's
warren!
going for the backup. Oh!
That's the killing blow right there as well.
When the backup roach warren gets focused, it's all over. Doesn't matter about MMR. They were like 5 MMR apart. Backup roach warrens.
I wonder how many games Garitos lost where he lost his roach warren at the front. He was like, you know what? No more. I'll just get an extra one and I'll go for your roach warren. And if you don't have a backup one, guess what? You're going to be making garbage units because roaches are the best unit at this stage in the game.
Yep, very good. A little bit greedy to go to infestors that quick. In terms of where just Roach Ravager was going to be able to power out throughout the middle. And he was transitioning to a slightly easier thing to transition to being the Hydralisk compared to Infestors.
Yeah, that was very interesting here. I thought that Crowbar was doing better for most of the game. Economically, he was on 6 gases faster, just didn't see this attack coming, didn't quite get enough, didn't react properly to it. He could have, you know, rewalled, made a bunch of spines, I don't know. He was maybe overdrawing a little bit, and he looks scrappy, but I guess Garitos gets the job done here with some future... I thought you said future bile.
I said putrid bile, and that's Stitch's heroic.
That would be sick.
I'm a bad person, right?
Can you imagine these slow roaches like just being stuck in putrid bile and like Stitches is just there, not even attacking, just like kind of dancing. Then he throws a fishing hook from afar, catches a Ravager. What's up now?
I'm glad you can enable my Heroes of the Storm references. I apologize in advance. Yeah, obviously I play quite a lot of that game. But StarCraft is still near and dear to my heart, as we do have Odyssey going to be our next map between these two, Crowbar and Garitos, going up against one another. Todd Kylaris after this one, Lilikanim possibly versus Soccer? Who knows? I bet you anything I'm going to get thrown host again, and then I'm going to have to start the match. It's really hot in Cologne. I will just look at that. I will transfer the host to Kylaris. Just start the game. Good to go.
Well, one of them went to get water.
Oh, really?
Stay hydrated out there. It's very hot actually today.
It is, and I really want to grab my water from down there, but I don't want to go off camera.
And the AC is very weak here.
Yes.
So if somebody's got a camera around and take is free, then I'm ready to give another interview.
It's kind of Germany in most
it's
of its
freaking hot like every time.
Yeah, Germany doesn't understand air conditioning. It's just kind of like a rule. I don't know why, but it's just a rule. How did it go from 10 degrees to 28 degrees in the matter of like 2 days? What happened?
You ever heard of that thing Donald Trump doesn't believe in called global warming?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I watched a sick documentary actually about this on the plane. Before the flood, with Leonardo DiCaprio going to from country to country, studying global warming. It's very interesting. Huh?
Was it good?
It's like more like a documentary, right? Like it's not like an actual film.
Was the documentary good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check it out. Oh, look, the looks like they're both ready. As Garitos currently 1 game up, and you have begun the countdown.
When I hear a joke,
yes,
I ironed.
That's not a joke.
It's funny. look at my shirt.
It's fine. Oh dear. There's going to be a lot of WCS Challenger coming up in the next couple of weeks. So me and Todd will be bringing you a lot of it. And then I have to disappear into the night. And then Rotterdam will eventually come along to aid you in your endeavors.
Don't get your hand cut off and we'll be good.
No, indeed. I'm sure I'll be fine. Okay, let's jump in. And I need to set that to best of 3. And then that one. Yes, I remember all the hotkeys. Down at the bottom right-hand corner, it's going to be Garitos in the red. And of the top left-hand corner, we have Crowbar in the blue. And as you said, I think he had a good start to that first game. But a bit feisty, a bit more nimble towards infestors. Didn't quite work out in the end.
Yeah, that was like usually when I see this kind of game, I'm like, all right, like to me it feels that clearly Crowbar is better, but then all of a sudden I'm reminded that aggression is pretty important and building up your economy and attacking faster and better is not all that's important. And Garitos really made the most of the situation. You know, he used his image. When he first got scouted, when he was getting a ton of links in the start, I think that a lot of players would have still committed to it and then lost because Crowbar then would have been ready. But Garitos said, you know what? I can start 10 drones right now. You're going to overreact and I'm going to catch up on walkers. I'm just going to do that. And like I said, the tech in ZvZ, you can start Glare Reconstitution way earlier than your opponent and +1 as well. As long as the opponent reacts properly, makes enough units across the map, even if you attack, as long as they have enough, they're going to survive and they're going to get those upgrades themselves. And that's exactly what Garitos did. So he did what he needed to do in the end. And sometimes in StarCraft, it's all that matters, right?
Yeah, that's what you got to do. He's going to get himself a ling or two to start things off. Actually, 4 lings already on the way here. So they'll be coming out quite quickly. And a lot of that minerals that he spent on those lings was done before he started speed, because his gas didn't really line up that well with him getting speed at exactly the right moment compared to where Garitos is at. So Garitos will be in a better defensive stance to start things.
Every time I see a nickname with like Gary in it,
Gary?
it gives me flashbacks of Garimto.
Garimto?
Yeah. Oh. Especially Garitos. Like I feel like you meant to play Protoss, right? If you're going to use that nickname.
Yeah, maybe it's him. But he just kind of wanted to look for a new direction in life. It's probably not.
Right.
All right, Baneling Nest on the way on either side. Actually in a bit more of an aggressive stance because it's in the back here, so it'll be a little bit more difficult for opponents to scout it out. And then from that point on, you could try and catch your opponent off guard. It's usually unlikely nowadays, though.
Yeah, there are a lot of pathways on this map, and you can easily go around the overlords of your opponent, and I think that's what Crowbar was looking to do here with his links that he has hidden on the top right-hand side of the map. Garitos is keeping a few links at home, though. He's going to be completely ready for this, almost as he kind of expected it. Ton of links being made for Crowbar. He's actually going to be the one going on the aggression here.
And those links at the top were morphed into banelings quite quickly. So this could get aggressive.
Ooh, 3 drones just started here for Garitos. Does he not see this coming? Those links passed by. That one overlord there for a second, but I'm not sure he saw it. He's morphing in banelings, but he needs to get a ton of links here from there.
He sees plenty of lings already funneling forward, so he's going to have to be careful about that. 1 baneling, 2 banelings could deal with those banelings quite quickly, but they do not as they split on off. 2 banelings crashed into a queen. That's not good for Crowbar to start things, but he did lose an overlord by the looks of it during all of this.
Oh, he can get a cancel on those banelings here. Can Crowbar, and he's going to get that. Gets a surround on that 1 queen, and those banelings, they're starting to be morphed a little bit too late there.
He was supply blocked during all of this. The queens were walking across the map, got themselves an overlord, and now he hasn't been able to make any links during all of this. He's trying to panic, get 4 overlords at a time. The 7 banelings need to morph in and get over here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I don't know what these drones are going to be able to go there. Watch out, Crowbar. All you have to do now is split those Zerglings, make sure that those banelings don't get perfect connections. GG gets called, and Crowbar equalizes the score here with some of his own aggression.
Very quickly. I think that overlord going down on the other side to those queens was really important. Not being able to make any units, sad times.
Yeah. Garitos in game number 1 asks Crowbar where his backup Rotron was, and Crowbar returns the favor and asks him where his backup map is. And there it is. We're gonna have the last map.
Yeah.
His backup life.
That's true.
Insert coin.
That's true. Now, of course, don't forget that if you do actually fall out of our single elimination bracket today, you'd still have an opportunity tomorrow. We will have 4 players advancing from today to go on to the playoffs, and 4 players advancing from tomorrow to advance to the playoffs as well. So, 2 chances in the single elim.
We should call that the Apollo segment.
The Apollo segment.
When mathematics are done. So.
Oh, I can do it.
We've qualified 4 players, we qualify 8 players. Tomorrow, 4 players will qualify.
Last map is Ascension. Yeah. Thank you. I think Crowbar.
Thanks for information.
Yeah,
Host anytime you want.
I was going to say, I think he's telling us because he wants us to host and not himself. Either that or he's just a really friendly guy, and I can appreciate that. That's fine. Not calling him out on stream for making us try and host. I like your response. Your response was the best. Okay, so it seems Sinestro is in a lobby. Maybe we can join him. Maybe that's the lobby. I'm gonna edge a guess that it is. I'm in it. Ascension to Aya.
Wait, what? I don't have you in friend list?
No? Which account are you on? Because you have 2.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah,
that's your excuse.
No, you had... No, all right.
You were just deleting people off your friend list as well before we met live.
You had 2, so I removed 1. Don't hurt me.
Really?
Because I have so many people I need to add across 2 games.
Oh, it's...
I didn't know which one to unfriend.
I'll join through somebody else. I don't care. Don't you dare add me, man. I'm gonna decline.
Where is this one? Why do I have this one on there? There's no way I removed both. There's no way I removed both.
It's okay, man.
Or
It's
whatever.
okay. It's gonna be some fun 2 weeks casting with you.
Yes. I have too many people. You know what I should do? I should create an account specifically for Heroes and an account specifically for StarCraft. That would make everything so much easier.
What's the limit on friend list?
200.
You don't have that many friends,
no,
man.
I do. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It really isn't. It catches up on you. It creeps up on you really quickly.
So you should make 2 accounts, but not one for Heroes and not one for StarCraft. One for gaming and like your gaming friends, and one for girls that you play with.
I don't play with any girls. They're normally rubbish. No offense.
Wow.
No, there's actually some very good girls, especially in Heroes. Some in Grandmasters and stuff.
Hey, your favorite map, Ascension to Higher.
Ascension to Aya, yes.
It's coming out.
I have to do that every single time.
Actually, like, I don't know why, but when I first look at this map, I was like, I'm really not supposed to like it. But then the more I play on it, the more I think it can be decent, or the more games I see on it. It's a little bit strange. Like, the way the overlay is around the natural and main, I think is okay for Protoss for the most part. But the third base, like, it's almost like overgrowth third base, but worse. So
Right.
it can be quite hard to, like, you know, keep safe and secure and stuff in most matchups. Right, well, apparently I was host.
You never know at this point.
And,
You'll always get it.
Yeah, because of that, sometimes it can get really tough. I think especially against, well, to be honest, both against Zerg and Terran, like these are the matchups that I think of when I talk about Protoss versus anything. So, I don't know, like I've seen more and more players start to play really well on this map, which is also very inspiring. Like Stats and Neeb, I've been streaming these days, and every time I watch them, I'm like, oh my god. It's actually mesmerizing to watch these guys being the beasts that they are.
Teach us your ways. Okay, so that one, that one, that one, all the buttons. We're done. To the top left-hand corner, we are going to have Mr. Garitos in the red. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have Crowbar in the blue. As he was able to pull a fast one on his opponent in the previous game. He was able to swindle him. Duke and jive. Duke and jive. Got to bring all the catchphrases back. And I'm here.
Double extractor trick from Garitos.
That's ambitious.
Yeah. Choosing to get some earlier drones here, even though you lose a little bit of minerals when you do that. And it looks like hatch first for both players here. It's going to be the choice on this map. Definitely an easier map to, as opposed to the previous one, to scout anything coming out from the opponent's base, because the rush distance is not super long, and with one overlord, you see the entire exit of the opponent's base, right? Like, okay, say you put an overlord here in the middle. Even if a queen comes here, you can send it lower down these stairs, and then have your second overlord above that area. So then you will still see, you know, units exiting the area very, very easily. You got watchtowers that you can use. So vision-wise, one of the better maps that you can actually see your opponent coming towards you.
I guess one of the only things is that I guess the first overlord will take quite a while to get to, say, the very back of a main base, even if it could ever get there, which it probably couldn't because of Queen, so you could try and hide something.
That's more the job of the Lings.
Yeah.
I don't think you will sacrifice an overlord as much. Like, usually trying to run in Lings is like way, way better. Because even if there are banelings in position and they blow up on those Lings up the ramp, it's not cost-effective trades.
All right, well, let's see where these overlords are going to go. The second one was already moving in an interesting direction to probably just get Perch over towards that third base, making sure that you can keep tabs on when that may go down. Is there no queen? Garitos hasn't started a queen. Oh, that's because the spawning pool's only just finished. It's weird how his build's lined up, actually. With the extractor trick into everything, it feels like he's not in a great positioning in economy compared to Crowbar.
Yeah, usually like then with this kind of build order, you know, differences, like you end up catching up and all that.
Yeah. But
And yeah, he couldn't pick Zagar as early as you would have liked him to.
no, apparently not. Get that creep going, mate. It's always fun. But
Imagine Queens could make Niduses in StarCraft 2.
let's not get into that. It became meta recently in some places. It's really weird. China. That's where it became.
Abathur Zagar back though?
No. Oh god, kill me.
The good old days.
This drone is actually going to the alternate third location. It's actually being spotted by an overlord. So these Lings will try and get down there. Can't deny, but can start working on it.
Yeah, pretty early third base here for both players. Again, you know, on a map like this, with all the vision that you get from these just few overlords, you're going to feel much safer than otherwise.
Oh, aggressive. Banelings morphing in. He sees them, and there's 8 Lings on the way. 18 Lings in response, as well as a Baneling nest going down here for Crowbar.
Yeah, it looks like both players here want to try and be aggressive. Ooh, those Banelings going to get chased here a little bit.
Nice.
And a Spine Crawler actually going to go down for Crowbar, who's definitely, he wants to respect this here.
Oh, Crowbar's played this so well. Gets 2 Banelings for 3 Zerglings. Very good trade. And, oh, great cancellations as well. Crowbar is responding to this textbook style. Textbook.
And a Roach Run for garitos, who I think wants to transition there. He just wants to run around here for now with Zerglings and Banes. Crowbar is going to run past every single Zergling and Baneling that was out on the map there. That's going to be a super dangerous attack. Actually, if he had gone in the main and natural, he would have killed so many drones. But instead, going to go for the third base to try and get a cancellation and might be able to get it.
He might. I think he should be cleaned up, though, so he's going to let it hatch and finish. And the Zerglings don't really get too much done at all. They're trying to split off to deal with some Banelings. Fights going on absolutely everywhere.
Yeah,
Up
Crowbar.
Lings are still on the hatchery. He doesn't have anything to respond to it. And Banelings are going to come in and try and reinforce.
Crowbar is only making Zerglings and Banes right now. And garitos, he's got quite a few larvas saved up, 11 in total to make roaches. I think he might have to go all in here with that third base going down, so he's going to start 9 roaches, but there are still a ton of Lings here going forward and looking to try and kill him right now.
And Crowbar played that well. Drones have to come off the line to try and deal with that drone drill through that Queen and make sure that they can get out of there because they know they're in trouble. That Queen does fall, and Lings with 1 Baneling. Good focus fire there from garitos onto that Baneling, but the Lings get the wraparound on the Queen, and the roaches are coming out too little, too late here. A lot of damage has been done.
It looks like this is going to be defended, but in the meantime, Crowbar has now seen roaches coming out. He's still making a ton of Zerglings. He's going to have the capability of staying out on the map, counter-attacking if needs be at any time. And garitos doesn't feel like he has much of a choice here. Either he sits back, drones up, tries to come back in the game. He's obviously going to be playing from behind in, or he goes for the all-in. And I think it's going to be the latter here. And it's going to be going for a massive attack.
Well, that's kind of what the Lings have to do, right? For Crowbar, they have to buy time, because this standing force for garitos is really, really strong. If this gets over the other side of the map against just Lings alone, unless it's a massive amount of Lings, he might be okay, especially if he morphs in Banelings to support it.
I'm a little bit surprised not to see Crowbar trying to counter-attack. I think he's he's over-respecting garitos and thinking that he's left Banelings at home, which was not the case, except for one that's morphing right now. So that third base, I think he's going to be forfeit. Really surprised not to see any more Spine Crawlers, actually.
Yeah, I really expected some kind of counter-attack, as you were saying, because that was one of the only ways to
He's going for it
time.
now, but it's a minimal one.
Yeah?
Oh, he's getting some drones across the map.
Oh, wait, Baneling's actually exploding there. And how are we doing over here? Yeah, the Lings are on the drone line. And actually, it could get quite a bit done there with just those 2 Lings alone. But as I said, there's roaches and Banelings at the front. These Lings need to make sure that those Banelings are gone. There's only 2 left. If those Banelings are gone, these Lings can win. Tries to get a few, but still lots of Lings left over here. garitos really clutching at straws with this army at the front.
And Crowbar making sure he doesn't let any Baneling land big time. That one finally will, but I think he's got enough here in that location to clean up maybe these roaches.
Oh, I don't know why he pulled back with the Zerglings. Just fight them. They're so weakened. The roaches will fall. But he did lose his third during it all.
And hatch for an hatch.
Hatch for a hatch. Oh, I like it. I like it. Well, these Lings. Now, what is Crowbar actually going to do with it? Because I think there should be enough Baneling defense here for garitos. It's kind of equalized out. Ling's going to go for the counterattack for garitos.
This is such a weird game. They've got an even walker count now. But +1 melee on the way here for Crowbar.
Oh, he killed a lot of the Lings with a few Banes in mid because he was preoccupied in the main base. This is a crazy little Zerg versus Zerg.
2 Banelings in the main trying to morph.
Oh,
like little ninjas. They're going to be spotted.
Boo, boo, boo.
Oh!
Boo! Well, good split off there.
Yeah, remember one Baneling wouldn't have been enough anyway to blow up these drones.
Nope.
That guy.
Oh!
That was you.
It was me. Oh wow, those 2 Banelings got so much. That drone was the tactical sniper, far away from the combat. So well done, little drone.
Tactical sniper?
Yeah, yeah. You couldn't imagine me in combat.
You realize snipers, they kill people from afar, right?
Yes, yes, that's fine.
They don't rush in and explode.
No, I accept that, that's okay. He got out of combat at least. He was okay. Baneling.
Lair now finally starts for garitos. Good old ZvZ, man. 8-minute Slayer.
It's yeah, it's quite the matchup sometimes. These two been right at each other's throats this game. I mean, considering game number 1, which is quite passive, and game number 2 was very aggressive and fierce, and then game 3, you're like, right, well, we kind of have to tread the middle ground very, very carefully, and you end up with these kind of wars at the beginning of everything.
Whoa, Burrow? Crowbar, actually, okay, he's starting to work on his gas, because he was on 1 gas for a very long time, whereas Garitos already on 3 gases. So he's taking a second one, but just a second one. Like, you're supposed to take more than that.
Unless he wants to continue some kind of crazy heavy Ling play, but he's going to have to bounce around against these Banelings so quickly.
He already has quite a bit of gas saved up, because he didn't have to make that many Banelings. He was mostly Lings he was making, so I guess he can just keep that for now, but we'll have to make sure he keeps up.
He sees the Overlord morphing on the right-hand side, so technically he should be able to respond in time, and he will reposition some Banelings to thwart that danger. Nicely done. Good scouting. Oh, they can't go forwards. He's just making Ling still. But as long as Garitos keeps his defense up with the Banelings, he has more workers quite significantly.
Burrow is super interesting here.
I guess he burrows a Ling at the
I mean, he can go from base to base, like force overseers, burrow them all over the place.
Yeah.
Baneling bombs also a possibility, but I mean, as soon as an overseer enters the field, obviously it's not going to work anymore, supposedly.
So he's going to burrow one at that 3rd base location to try and deny for a little while. But as you said, Overseer will just kind of thwart that very fast, so he'll only buy a little bit of time here whilst Crowbar tries to get himself in a good spot. But he's been so lackluster on drone production because he's just been making Lings.
I wonder if Garitos had taken that left-hand side 3rd base instead of the forward one. If he had been able, he would have been able to do better. Not necessarily save it, but trade better.
Couldn't he just bring a, instead of having to wait for an Overlord, he could just use 1 Baneling to just auto detonate on that location. Yeah. And then kill it off.
But he can also morph an Overseer pretty quickly and bring it.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm trying to be fancy, alright? Oh, these Lings are going to try and... No. That happened.
Done and dusted.
Pretty much done and dusted. That was bad. Oh, Garitos.
Like yourself in bed.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm out. Bye. I'm taking my headset off.
Whoa, Banings.
Wait, where?
Oh!
Oh,
you don't even need to see like the explosion, just the body is enough.
Was it the same? Oh my god. Garitos as well. That's
Oh, nice burrow micro here actually, but there is still an Overseer. The Spine Crawler was not in position just yet, and it looks like Garitos might be able to break through. Look at the supply!
Too many roaches. Too many indeed. That was going to take down 3rd base. He couldn't even just kind of walk up the ramp there and kill off any roaches that came out. There's going to be a few popping down towards there, but it'll be just a case of divide and conquer. Marches forwards here against these roaches. Gets the Queen. Focus him down. He's even got +1. Supply. Simple numbers. A nice attempt here from Crowbar to try and get himself in a better position, but he lost so many Lings to basically 4 Banelings. 2 up next to the 3rd base and 2 during the middle of the map as you were showing or pointing out. Sorry, boys. Your time is now. Garitos advances on to the round of 64. 64.
Good job by him. Back and forth series here. Game number 1, I thought he wasn't doing so well, then he wins. Game number 2, he gets attacked and killed instantly.
Yes.
And game number 3, again, quite back and forth, trading expansions left and right, and that choice of staying on Lings for a very long time, not paying off for Crowbar, Garitos was, I guess, good enough with the roaches and the moves.
Yep. All right, well, that does it for our first series. What we're going to do now here for the WCS Challenger Europe Open Cup number 1 is we are going to go to a short break. We're going to find you another series, and when we're back, we're going to have more awesome action here for StarCraft 2.
Let's end this thing.